Have you ever taken a second to wonder why your legs seem weaker lately, even though you're eating right, staying active, and sticking to all the usual health advice? Why does climbing stairs suddenly feel like a workout? Why is it harder than before to rise from a chair? Is this simply what aging feels like, or could something less obvious be at play? Here's where things take an unexpected turn. The problem might not be what you're missing. In fact, you could be doing something right that's quietly backfiring. It turns out that many older adults stick to daily habits they believe are healthy. They repeat them with confidence, assuming it's the smart thing to do. After all, we've always heard that fruit is wholesome, natural, and good for you. And most of the time, it is. But here's what doesn't get talked about enough. Once you pass 60, some fruits that once worked in your favor might start to work against you. In fact, several go-to fruits, the ones we toss into the cart every week without thinking, could be silently weakening your legs, increasing knee pain, tightening joints, and gradually cutting into your mobility. These so-called superfoods might be doing the opposite of what you expect. As we age, our bodies naturally shift. Blood flow slows. Metabolism drops. And that means certain foods that once gave us strength can now start to cause problems, especially certain fruits. They may appear harmless. They may taste delicious. But underneath, they can be filled with sugars, acids, and compounds that cause sugar spikes, trigger inflammation, and gradually erode your leg strength. And here's the tricky part: the effects are slow and quiet. You won't feel it right away. But over time, your legs feel heavier, your knees stiffen up, and even short walks leave you sore and tired. In today's video, we'll uncover the 7 fruits most likely to cause trouble for adults over 60, especially if you want to stay mobile, strong, and pain-free. These fruits might look completely normal, but looks can be deceiving. Once you find out what they do inside the body, your idea of a healthy snack may change entirely. So if balance, flexibility, and lasting comfort are important to you, keep watching. What you're about to learn could be exactly the wake-up call your legs have needed. Before we dive in, though, take a second to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications if your well-being matters to you. On this channel, we cover the things most people miss. And while you're here, let us know your thoughts. If this content connects with you, type 1 in the comments. If not, post a 0. Your input matters more than you think. Let's begin with the first fruit on the list. It's widely praised for its anti-inflammatory effects. But for people over 60, it might actually be causing harm. Let's take a look at pineapple. Pineapple, the sweet tropical favorite with a hidden risk. Grown in sunny climates and known for its juicy, vibrant flavor, pineapple is often praised for bromelain, a natural compound believed to ease inflammation. For years, it's been touted as a healing food. But here's the surprising truth: while pineapple may seem like a smart choice, it can actually be problematic for older adults, especially when it comes to joint pain and leg strength. What's the concern? Pineapple is loaded with natural sugars and is highly acidic. And as we get older, our blood vessels become more delicate and less equipped to handle sudden sugar spikes. Pineapple, even though it's natural, can cause a fast rise in blood sugar levels. And what does that mean for your system? A quick spike puts strain on your circulation. The tiny blood vessels that deliver oxygen to your feet and legs may start to weaken with repeated exposure. That means your muscles get less oxygen, which leads to tiredness, discomfort, and stiffness. Even a short walk can feel draining. Sitting for too long might make your knees feel locked up. You might even feel ankle pain, without any major activity. And there's more. Pineapple's acidity doesn't just irritate the stomach, it can also fuel inflammation in the joints. If you deal with arthritis or stiffness, this fruit may be making it worse in your knees, hips, or ankles. Some people even say they feel more tired or depleted after eating pineapple, as if their energy slowly fades away. If you take medications, especially blood thinners, bromelain can interact with them and affect how they work, either intensifying or weakening their effects. But the most difficult part: pineapple's effects don't happen suddenly. The damage creeps in over time. One day, you simply realize your movement isn't what it used to be. Sadly, many older adults never link pineapple to the issue. That tropical fruit they've trusted might actually be contributing to their leg weakness. So what's the solution? You don't necessarily have to give it up, but you should be aware of the risks. Especially if you're already noticing swelling, stiffness, or leg pain. The harm may be slow, but that doesn't mean it isn't real. Now, if a fruit known for calming inflammation can have unexpected drawbacks, what about one that's smooth, sugary, and packed with potassium? A fruit often recommended for muscle health, yet might actually be undermining it? Let's turn our focus to bananas. Bananas, the second fruit, and a surprising threat to muscle strength. Soft, sweet, and high in potassium, bananas are commonly seen as a go-to snack for fast energy. They're frequently suggested for cramp prevention and muscle support. But beyond age 60, the picture gets more complicated. Bananas contain high levels of natural sugars and fast-digesting carbohydrates. Together, they lead to a quick spike in blood sugar soon after eating. When these spikes happen often, the body's sensitivity to insulin may decrease. The result? Sluggish blood flow, heightened inflammation, and fading leg strength. You might notice it in that heavy feeling after meals, tight calves, or the extra effort it takes to climb the stairs. But there's more. Bananas can also encourage water retention, especially in those with heart conditions. This can cause swelling in the ankles, joint puffiness, and stiff feet. The challenge is that these symptoms creep up slowly. You might keep eating bananas, believing they're helping, while they're quietly chipping away at your strength. And here's what makes it tricky: the changes don't happen in a single day. Over time, it becomes harder to walk, more tiring to climb stairs, and more difficult to stay mobile. That's why it's worth reevaluating your food choices. If you've been experiencing persistent swelling, leg fatigue, or joint tightness, bananas might be part of what's going wrong. Now, if even a familiar fruit like a banana can cause problems, what about one that's even smaller, sweeter, and eaten by the handful? Let's turn to grapes. Grapes, the third fruit, small in size but big in impact. They look innocent, tiny, juicy, and easy to eat. A convenient snack that requires no prep. Grapes are commonly praised for their antioxidants and heart benefits. But for people over 60, they could be fueling joint discomfort and leg pain without warning. Why? Grapes are rich in fructose, a natural sugar that's mostly processed by the liver. When the liver gets overloaded, excess fructose turns into uric acid and fat. And that's where the issue starts. Uric acid can collect in the joints, especially in the ankles, knees, and toes, causing sharp pain, stiffness, and swelling. That strange tightness behind the knee? That sore toe at night? Grapes may be the hidden trigger. But it doesn't end there. Fructose also contributes to low-level, chronic inflammation across the body. That leads to reduced mobility, more joint pressure, and a creeping stiffness in your lower limbs. What makes grapes so tricky is how easy they are to overconsume. They're light, tasty, and not very filling. So you might eat far more sugar than you realize. So although grapes seem like a smart, easy snack, they might be quietly working against your flexibility, energy, and comfort. Their sweetness could be disguising their deeper effects. If grapes are part of your everyday diet and you've been dealing with joint tightness, swelling, or slower movement, they might be playing a subtle role. But they're not the only ones. There's another fruit, bright, juicy, and thought to be incredibly hydrating, that may be even more deceptive. Let's turn to watermelon. Watermelon, the fourth fruit, a refreshing illusion loaded with sugar. Bright pink, juicy, and a summer staple, watermelon is usually considered light, low-calorie, and super hydrating. It seems like the perfect guilt-free treat. But here's the catch: watermelon has one of the highest glycemic indexes of any fruit. And what does that mean? It causes blood sugar levels to skyrocket, almost like eating a candy bar. For older adults, These quick sugar surges can do more damage than expected, especially to your lower limbs. Here's what's going on. When blood sugar spikes sharply, your body reacts by releasing a burst of insulin to bring it down. But with age, your cells become less sensitive to insulin, and that disconnect triggers inflammation, especially in places where blood flow is already weaker. Where does that show first? In your legs, your calves, knees, and ankles. After eating watermelon, you might notice your legs feel unusually tired. That dragging heaviness when walking. Ankles that swell and don't return to normal. Even going up a short staircase can feel like a workout. The watermelon seems like hydration. Inside your system, it acts more like sugar, chipping away at your strength bit by bit. And it's so easy to overdo. It's cool, sweet, and easy to eat, so one serving turns into 2 or 3 without you realizing. Every slice adds more sugar, more pressure on your veins, and more inflammation throughout your lower body. It's deceptive. What looks like a light, watery snack may actually be exhausting your legs from the inside out. So here's the big question. Is watermelon really the hydration hero it's made out to be for older adults? Or is every sweet bite secretly worsening your joint pain and lowering your stamina? If you've been feeling more sore or sluggish than usual, you might want to rethink the watermelon in your diet. Next up is a fruit often celebrated for its vitamin C content. You'll see it in juices, breakfast routines, and immune-boosting products. But if you're over 60, this popular citrus may be silently irritating your joints. Let's look at oranges. Oranges, the fifth fruit, a hidden contributor to joint discomfort. Bright in color, fragrant, and refreshing, oranges are a staple on breakfast tables and in wellness drinks. Their vitamin C levels support immune health, but for aging bodies, another ingredient deserves more attention: citric acid. That sharp, tangy bite? It can quietly aggravate your joints. If you're already experiencing stiffness, arthritis, or chronic aches, oranges might be intensifying your symptoms. You wake up with aching knees. After sitting, your hips start to tighten. Standing still, a deep soreness creeps into your legs. It's easy to chalk it up to aging, but your daily citrus intake could be playing a part. Here's what happens inside. Citric acid doesn't stop at your stomach. It moves into the bloodstream and can irritate the lining of your joints. Combine that with orange's natural sugars, and you've got a mix that elevates blood sugar and subtly fuels long-term inflammation. What does that lead to? Walking starts to feel tougher. Knees begin to throb. Your calves tighten. Ankles become less flexible. Younger people might not notice, but older adults often feel the effects piling up over time. And the surprising part? You've probably been eating oranges for years, assuming they were helping, when they might have been doing just the opposite. So what comes next? Let's look at a fruit that seems harmless, low in sugar, tart in taste, and often seen as the healthiest apple you can choose. But this crisp green snack could be quietly contributing to tight hips, cramping legs, and poor sleep. Let's talk about green apples. Green apples, the sixth fruit, and a sneaky source of lower body strain. Clean-looking, sharply flavored, and full of crunch, green apples are often favored by those trying to eat less sugar and more fiber. They're viewed as the smarter apple. But behind that healthy label lies a few hidden risks, especially for aging legs and joints. 2 ingredients are at the center of this: malic acid and natural sugar. First, let's talk about malic acid, the natural compound that gives green apples their signature tang. While younger people usually digest it with ease, aging digestive systems can become more reactive. As the gut lining gets thinner with age, malic acid may start to irritate not only digestion but also soft tissues and joints. Some seniors notice aching hips after eating apples. Others report burning sensations in the soles of their feet or a growing stiffness in their knees. These symptoms don't come all at once, they build gradually. But over time, they can become part of your everyday discomfort. Now consider the sugar. While green apples aren't as sweet as red varieties, they still contain natural sugars. And in people over 60, especially with slower digestion, those sugars can trigger spikes and crashes in blood glucose. That can cause sore muscles, nighttime cramps, stiff mornings, and an overall heavy feeling during physical activity. What makes green apples more problematic is how and when they're typically eaten. Raw, on an empty stomach, or late at night, they hit harder. So even though they look clean and healthy, they may be quietly contributing to soreness, leg aches, and restless nights. And if a simple, low-sugar fruit like a green apple can lead to that. What happens when you eat something much sweeter, softer, and sugar-packed? A fruit loved by many, and possibly the worst offender for older joints. Let's talk about mangoes. Mango, the seventh fruit, and a tropical danger for aging joints. Sweet, juicy, and golden in color, mangoes are often called nature's candy. A summer staple for many, they're loved for their flavor. But for seniors dealing with leg fatigue or joint soreness, they might be doing more harm than good. Why? Mangoes are loaded with sugar, more than most other fruits. And not just a little, the kind that quickly floods your bloodstream moments after eating. Younger bodies with fast metabolism can usually handle that surge. But after 60, as things slow down, that same spike leads to a rush of insulin, followed by a sharp drop. Over time, this cycle promotes inflammation, especially in areas like the hips, knees, and ankles. If you already experience nerve pain, mangoes can make things worse. You may feel tingling feet, burning toes, or swelling that worsens as the day goes on. Your legs may begin to feel heavy or unstable. And since mangoes are soft, smooth, and delicious, they're easy to overeat. That's the hidden danger. They seem light, but your body takes a hit. Long term, this can lead to ongoing joint pain, reduced flexibility, and a drop in your confidence with movement. Many older adults choose mangoes thinking they're making a nutritious choice. And while mangoes are natural, they may not be the right match for bodies facing joint strain and poor circulation. Now that we've explored all 7 fruits, one thing is clear: even healthy-sounding produce can turn problematic when your body's needs change. But don't worry, there's good news too. Now that you know how certain fruits, despite the hype, can slowly drain your mobility and energy, you can start making smarter swaps. And here's the bright side: not every fruit causes harm. Some are genuinely helpful. They ease inflammation, support circulation, and help your body move and feel better. Let's take a look at the fruits that help. Start with berries, like blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. These small fruits pack a big punch. They're low in sugar, high in antioxidants, and gentle on your blood sugar. Best of all, they improve lower body circulation, helping ease swelling, improve flexibility, and support smooth movement. Next up, cherries. In reasonable portions. Cherries are one of the few fruits that help reduce uric acid, which makes them great for easing gout symptoms and joint inflammation. They've been shown to calm knee pain and soothe burning in the toes. Just a handful can offer relief. Then there's avocado. Yes, it's a fruit, and a great one for your joints. Why? It's full of good fats that protect joint tissue and fight inflammation. Avocados also balance blood sugar levels, helping you stay energized without spikes or crashes. Looking for something digestive-friendly? Papaya is a strong choice. This tropical fruit has enzymes that help reduce inflammation and support digestion. It's gentle on the stomach and calming for the joints, a helpful duo as you age. And don't overlook pears. When eaten alongside some fiber or protein, pears offer subtle sweetness without causing blood sugar swings. They give clean, steady energy and won't cause swelling or stiffness in your legs. These fruits go beyond just satisfying your taste buds. They actually work with your aging body to improve the way you feel and move. They enhance flexibility, ease pressure on your joints, reduce swelling, and meet your body's changing needs. Because at this point in life, fruit isn't just about eating healthy. It's about making mindful choices that support how you feel today. And when you pick the right ones, you'll notice the difference. Lighter steps, better mornings, and more energy with each move. Let's end with a personal thought, something meaningful to keep in mind. If you've made it this far in the video, it says something important: you're committed to your well-being. You care about strength, mobility, and the quality of your daily life. And I want to remind you, there's still time. You still have the ability to recharge your energy and hold on to your independence. Most importantly, you don't have to do it alone. Getting older has its challenges. The aches, the fatigue, the quiet fear of slowing down or becoming less stable. It doesn't happen all at once. But here's the truth: you don't need a complete lifestyle overhaul. You don't have to give up what you enjoy. What you need are small, focused steps, starting with the foods you choose. The fruits we covered today aren't wrong. They just might not be suited for your body anymore. And that's completely okay. Growing older isn't about decline. It's about adapting wisely. When you begin selecting foods that promote circulation, reduce joint strain, and support smooth movement, that's when transformation begins. Less pain. More strength. Brighter days. That's what this message is all about. It's not here to scare you. It's here to inform you. To empower you with real insights so you can take the next step with confidence. Now, I'd really love to hear from you. Share a comment below. What stood out the most? What's one easy change you're ready to make? Because when we speak up, we help others. And even a small step can lead to a major shift. If this video offered clarity, or even just gave you something to consider, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe for more health guidance tailored to your life stage. And make sure to tap the bell icon so you don't miss anything important. Before you leave, one last thing. If this message hit home, type 1 in the comments. If it didn't, type 0. It may seem small, but it could be exactly what someone else needs to see today. Take care of yourself. Stay informed. And remember, your strength begins with every step you take.